Hi everyone. You may or may not know that my name is actually Samantha. Rosina was my grandmother, and she was a lady who taught me to crochet many years ago. So I sort of decided to use her name for my crochet business. So that was a fitting tribute. Now, on the other hand, Floris Fauna is named after another special lady, which was my mother-in-law, who we sadly lost in January this year. She was a really keen artist and loved all kinds of sort of wildlife and nature, loved being outside, keen gardener and everything. And also with her paintings, she really did love painting little animals. We've got several of her watercolours and acrylics in our house, and there's a few pictures actually. If you look at the introduction to the cowl, you'll see there's a couple of little images of her pictures, so you'll see where the inspiration for the cowl came from. And this inspiration actually came to me literally the day after she died. My original plan for the cowl this year was something completely different, which you'll probably get next year now. So anyway, yes, so Flora, I say, sent me the inspiration, I think, for this cowl. Now you can probably see over here we've got, this is one of the later parts, there's an owl. That blanket there is in the Glen colourway. I picked basically 3 out of the 4 colourways. They're all named after the sort of habitats where you might find these creatures. So as I used Highland Heathers for that blanket there, I decided to call it Glen. There's also another colourway which is a sort of, I call this forest. We've got here, so we start at the bottom there. Hopefully you can see we've got some hedgehogs, ladybirds, hedgehogs, squirrels, hence my little friend here if you hadn't noticed him before. And then we finish with the owls. And so this is the forest colourway, and this is in Stylecraft Special double knit. You may also notice one other difference, I don't know if you can see it on there, but with the owl, every other part, so the odd numbered parts, they are all, if you want to do a larger blanket, you repeat them. So you get on the small blanket, we've just got the one repeat of the sort of leafy pattern there, and on this large one you can hopefully see there's 2. So you don't miss any parts. If you're doing the larger blanket for this cowl, it's not like Letitia's Holiday or Letitia's Garden. You don't have to miss any parts. You get to do them all. You just do twice as much on every other part if you're doing the large blanket, and obviously make it wider as well. So that's those 2 colourways. Then, so we've got the nice naturalistic sort of colours for the forest one. And then for people who like something a little more sort of subtle, I suppose, although you may not think the yellow is subtle, but it's, I've got the sort of warm grey there, and then the yellowy colours. So this one is the meadow colourway, again in special double knit. So those 3 are all named after sort of habitats where you might find this kind of wildlife. But then sort of halfway through the test, I came up with a little bit of a brainwave from seeing like wildlife programs. You can see when they're filming at night, they often have like obviously a night vision camera, and that tends to invert the colours. So all of the animals, rather than being dark on a light background, tend to show up as like light grey on a dark background, hence nocturnal. So here we go, there's the little hedgehogs, and the squirrels. So this one you might notice has got actually less colours. The other 3, the first 3 colourways that I showed you all have 5 different colours in them, but for nocturnal I'd reduced that to 3. So again, this is another good one to follow if you actually don't want to have too many colours. And to be honest, you could have even made it just 2. Where I've got the batik in here, which is for the little sort of spacer panels in the border, you could have equally done that in one of the colours in the main blanket, so you could just do it in 2 if you want. So that's all the different colourways. This is a lovely, nice, easy cowl for people who, even if you're a beginner to mosaic crochet, because there are no special stitches at all in it. It's all just your basic double crochets. I'm talking in UK terms here, so double crochets in the back loops, or your trebles. To make the pattern, you just use a treble, drop that 2 rows below. It's all you need to worry about really, that, and obviously chains. So it's nice and easy for beginners. What else do I need to tell you? Oh yeah, now part 3, if I show you, there we go. This is part 3, so which is acorns. Now this one was one I did later. If you actually look at, where are we? If I go back to the meadow colour here, you might notice, here we go, on this one, that my acorns are actually the other way up. So I originally designed the pattern for the acorns this way up, did this sample, did my large blanket sample, and then when it went out to testing, a couple of the testers felt quite strongly that the acorn should be the other way up. When I thought about it, I thought, well, you're probably right actually, because if it's obviously if the acorn's hanging from the tree, you'll tend to have the cup at the top. I couldn't redesign the whole pattern then, because obviously it was too late. I'd written it all, it was already out for testing, and I definitely didn't want to make 2 more samples. So what I've actually done is added a second chart and full written instructions, got full details for both versions. So if you're doing the small blanket, you can choose which one you want to do, whether you want the cup at the top or the bottom. And if you're doing the large blanket, you can again have it either both repeats for the cup at the top, both at the bottom, or indeed 1 and 1. Entirely up to you. So all the options are in there for you to do that. Let me think, what else is there? Trying to think what else to tell you. Oh yeah, the price on Ravelry, so this is a paid CAL, the price on Ravelry is, for the duration of the CAL, is going to have 25% off. So the price that you'll see displayed there, you don't need any codes or anything, the price displayed already has that £2 or like 25% taken off. But if you happen to be a member of my Facebook group, Rosina Crochets, you can actually get a code on there for another £2 off. So if you're not already a member and you want to do the CAL, by all means join up. Make sure you answer the questions when you send your request in. Join up and you'll get a code there, so that'll effectively make it half price just for the duration of the CAL. So it's an 8-part CAL, so there are the seven individual parts. So that starts with part 1 being the little ladybirds, part 2 the hedgehogs, and so on. So that's there. Every single part is going to have a clear chart, full written instructions, and there will be videos too for both left and right handers. So hopefully you've got all the bases covered there for you. So yeah, do read, when you buy the CAL, please do read the introduction file, because there's lots of information in there that I'm not going to repeat on all the other parts. And what the main thing is probably the abbreviations list. So make sure you've at least got that handy when you're doing the other parts, so you don't have any sort of, because what I have done, I've actually slightly adjusted my abbreviations, so the pattern is now written in universal terms. I haven't got a separate UK and US like I usually do. It's all in, just that I've condensed the abbreviations. So say if you've been familiar with my mosaic patterns before, you'll know that my terminology for the sort of background stitches is a back loop double crochet, or back loop single crochet in US terms, BLDC or BLSC. And when it comes to the drop down treble, I will say FLTR2D, which is front loop treble 2 down, or front loop double crochet 2 down in US terms. But for this one, I've simplified it and made it a B for back loop. So if you see a B, you know it's the back loop double crochet or single crochet for US. You see an F. I've always used an F in my charts to represent that treble anyway, so I've just plopped that straight into the written instructions. So hopefully you'll find that nice and easy, and it obviously makes the instructions a lot shorter and easier to follow, I hope. I've had some really good feedback from my testers, so hopefully you'll like it too. So yeah, I think, what have we got? Yeah, we've got the 4 colourways I've taken you for. There are packs. The CAL has been sponsored by Starcraft, so there's quite a lot of Starcraft stockists will be able to provide you with the colour pack, or indeed choose your own. Go as wild and crazy as you like, or as subtle and delicate and classy as you like. Whatever. I can't wait to see that all there. So I think I've told you everything now. Probably not. I've probably forgotten something. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the CAL as much as I do, and I think it's a really fitting tribute to my dear mother-in-law. So yeah, take care.